I'm going to ask you a scientific question.
Sure.
A topic usually reserved for a very small slice of our society. Sure. And I want you to explain the relevance of it in relation to God and origins. What is a finely tuned universe?
The idea of a fine-tuned universe has been around for a long time. It's called the teleological argument. And basically what it states is that the conditions for a life-sustaining universe are so fine-tuned that it can only be explained by an intelligent cause. That if we look out into the universe, whether we're talking about the laws of nature, whether we're talking about our solar system, that it shows signs of fine-tuning and therefore an intelligent agent. As an example, look at our cosmological constants. Strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, electromagnetic force, the gravitational force. Not only are these fine-tuned, but they have to be fine-tuned as they relate to one another. And let me quote Walter Bradley, a PhD who wrote the book Signs of Intelligence. He claims that a 2% increase in the strong force relative to the electromagnetic force leaves the universe with no hydrogen and no water. He also states that the electromagnetic force relative to the gravitational force if it had been weaker, stars would contain billions of times less mass and would burn millions of times faster. Hugh Ross, astronomer, PhD, he notes that the ratios of electrons to protons, the velocity of light, the galaxy cluster density, the entropy level of the universe, and the decay rate of protons had to be specifically tuned within a remarkable window of possibilities. Stephen Hawking, we all know who he is, PhD out of Oxford. He notes that the universe, in its initial inception, the expansion rate of the universe had to be fine-tuned within 1 part in 100,000 million. Otherwise, the universe would have recollapsed into a ball of fire. So even the expansion rate of the universe is fine-tuned within a very, very small window of possibility. Oxford physicist Roger Penrose, not a theist, an atheist, he calculates that just one of the parameters needed to set the universe on its course when he notes that the original phase space volume required an accuracy of 1 in 10 billion multiplied by itself 123 times. That is just one condition within the universe has that kind of fine-tuning. The number is so big, we can't even write it down. There's more zeros than there are atoms. So a fine-tuned universe, we're looking at the universal constants and we're saying, wow, this looks like someone had to toy with these constants in order to make the universe life-sustaining. Now, let's look at our solar system really quickly. Our solar system, no difference. Our solar system, as you know, has liquid, vapor, and frozen water. If you change the distance of the sun by just 2%, you no longer have this and you can't sustain life. Our planet, it must retain water vapor and let methane and ammonia escape, which are lighter elements. If the gravitational force is changed by just 4%, can't happen, and we have these poisonous gases on Earth. The moon, we used to think it was just something out there floating. It stabilizes our rotation. Jupiter, we know that Jupiter, if it was not in the exact location that it is, we would have 1,000 times more comets hitting the Earth. So we look at these parameters. Let me quote astronomer Hugh Ross. In 1989, he found 16 of these constants for the universe and 19 for the solar system. Today, if you go on their website, reasons.org, you'll find 122 conditions required to have a life-sustaining planet and 35 for the universe. So as we look at all these constants, you just try to assimilate them and you're just reeling in this incredible improbabilities, and you can only conclude that this Earth had a purpose, and that was to sustain life. And we believe that through our biblical knowledge. Yes.
Quick follow-up question.
Yes, sir.
You have people like Richard Dawkins and Stephen Hawking. How can they maintain a naturalistic worldview of our universe with any kind of intellectual honesty, knowing this? They obviously know this.
I struggle with that. These are obviously smart guys. They're smart guys on both camps. And, I just think that they are very adverse to any idea of God, and I think ultimately all of us are, because we lose our autonomy in life. That we would have to accept God and accept God as He is and submit to that God. And I think that they're just fighting it with tooth and nail. But I think if they did have some intellectual honesty, they would concede that this universe is fine-tuned to incredible precision and precisions that not even humanity can account for.